Good morning and welcome to the February 9th, 2023 Kansas Corporation Commission business meeting. I'm Susan Duffy, serving as chair of the commission, and with me are Commissioners French and Commissioner Keene. I call this meeting to order. Today, commissioners, on our agenda, we have 17 consent items and 3 noticed items. Commissioners, you have had the opportunity to review the consent agenda items. Are there any questions or comments? And I will start with Commissioner French today.
No questions.
And Commissioner Keene.
No questions. I move approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. The motion passes. Thank you. And for our first item today, our noticed item, we have docket number 23 SNKT-596-COM. This is in the matter of the complaint against JD Cable Construction LLC by the Southern Kansas Telephone Company, Inc. This is an order on prima facie determination. And our presenter is Mr. Brian Fedotin.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, commissioners. This complaint alleges that JD Cable accidentally cut a fiber optic cable, disrupting phone and internet service to approximately 3,000 customers while while installing fiber for Cox Communication. This order finds that the formal complaint meets the procedural requirements of KAR 82-1-220B and shall be served upon JD Cable Construction LLC for an answer within 10 days of service. With that, I'm available for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Fedotin. We'll start with Commissioner French for any questions or comments.
No questions.
And Commissioner Keene.
No questions. I move approval of the order.
Second.
There is a motion and a second to approve the order. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye, the motion passes. Our second item is docket number 22-CONS-3115-CMSC. It's in the matter of the application of Keto Inc. for an operator's license renewal. And our presenter today is Mr. Jonathan Myers. Good morning, Mr. Myers.
Good morning, Chair Duffy, and good morning, commissioners. Before you is an order that affirms the Commission's September 2nd, 2021 order denying application for license, against which operator had requested a hearing in this docket. I would note that Commissioner Keene has previously recused himself in this matter, and I am available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. I will turn to Commissioner French. Do you have any questions or comments?
I have no questions and I move approval of the order.
I second the motion. Any other discussion?
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, please, Commissioner Keene.
I want it to be on the record very clear that I am recusing in this matter.
We will note Commissioner Keene's recusal in the motion offered by Commissioner French.
Thank you.
Hearing no further discussion. All those in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion passes. Thank you very much. All right, our final item for today is docket number 23-TRAM-562-PEN. In the matter of the investigation of Punya Express Inc. of Olathe, Kansas, regarding the violations of the motor carrier safety statutes, rules, and regulations, and the Commission's authority to impose penalties, sanctions, and/or the revocation of motor carrier authority. This is a penalty order, and our presenter today is Mr. Hassan Latif. Good morning, Mr. Latif.
Good morning, Commissioners and Chair. The penalty order before you arises out of a compliance review of Punya Express, a common carrier which hauls general freight, household goods, metal, sheet coils and rolls, building materials, and paper products operating out of Olathe, Kansas. This investigation was conducted on December 14th by Special Investigator Matt Adams. And the carrier here was flagged for a compliance review after it was involved in a fatality accident which occurred in Topeka. The carrier was not deemed to be at fault for the fatality accident, but our staff did flag it for review. And during staff's investigation, the special investigator found several violations, and the order before you assesses penalties for 12 of those violations, resulting in $10,000 in total penalties. The violations, which I'll briefly summarize, included a $1,000 fine for failing to conduct post-accident testing for alcohol for a driver that was involved in a DOT recordable accident, a $1,000 fine for failing to conduct a pre-employment inquiry with the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse, a $3,500 fine for using a driver that was prohibited from performing safety sensitive functions in the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse, a $2,000 fine for falsifying records of duty status. Additionally, there were violations related to the carrier's timekeeping practices and instances of unsafe driving. Staff believes the order appropriately assesses penalties against the carrier and recommends approval of the order. Both I and staff are available to stand for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Lateef. I'll turn first to Commissioner French. Any comments or questions?
No questions. Thank you.
And Commissioner Keen.
No questions. The comment I would have, I want to certainly commend Matt Adams, our field investigator here again, for the thoroughness of this investigation and the follow-on incidental to the original accident that gave rise to this this entire inquiry. So having said that, I would move approval of the order.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the order. I would just like to state, and I don't have the news article in front of me, but the National DOT says that accidents involving motor carriers went up significantly this last year. And I believe we're seeing that trend in Kansas too, if I'm not mistaken, Gary, and just nod your head if that is correct.
That is correct.
Even more important for our job and our investigators to try and alleviate as much of the carnage that's left behind after even a simple accident. The road is closed, people can't get through, they're delayed, or the worst that could absolutely happen, and that is loss of life. So with that and no further discussion, all those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye, the motion passes. Thank you. Before we close the meeting, I would like to just give a shout out to District 3 staff. We are 3 weeks into our abandoned well plugging program. The state of Kansas received $25 million in the initial grant offered by the IRA. And we are 3 weeks into plugging, and to date, there are 4 projects going on. 164 wells have been plugged. Wow, that's pretty incredible for the operators involved who are plugging, as well as the staff who are overseeing the individual projects. And a big shout out because it hasn't been a warm 3 weeks, and I appreciate their diligence. We will continue to update and provide reports on their activity, but the program is in full swing in the state of Kansas, and that is a good thing, the plugging of abandoned wells. Finally, go Chiefs. With that, commissioners, I will entertain an order to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
And a second, moved by Commissioner French and seconded by Commissioner Keen. All those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye, the motion passes. Thank you, everyone.
Take care.
Bye-bye.